Delicious vegan meals that are healthy, filling, easy to make, and kid approved. What more do you need? Let's get into it. Starting off with these easy vegan donuts. Listen, for a weekend breakfast, these donuts paired with a nice chai tea, I can't think of anything better, honestly. All the ingredients for these recipes will be linked below. So we add our banana, all-purpose flour, and I like to use the Bob's Red Mill, or almond milk, or you can use oat milk or coconut milk, whichever one you have or desire. Maple syrup. We're also going to put in baking soda, baking powder, and a dash of cinnamon, a little bit of salt, and a tablespoon of sugar. Oh, and you can't forget the vanilla, of course. To make these donuts bind properly, I'm using peanut butter. And after 20 minutes, you've got the fluffiest donuts. I just added a little bit of powdered sugar to them, and that was it. This was so good. My kids enjoy this, and they stay well for a couple days. All right, next up is a smoothie. It would be remiss of me to not include a smoothie in this video because I just believe in them so much. For this particular one, I had spinach, pineapple, almond milk, oats, a little protein powder, and then I also added chia seeds. All right, next up, we're making what I'm going to call the best dish in this whole video. And trust me, all of them are delicious, but this one beats them all, honestly. I have to be honest. So this is my gluten-free pumpkin pasta. I'm starting off with boiling the barilla pasta, and then while that's boiling in a little salt water, I'm gonna add my crushed garlic, olive oil, a little brown sugar, some vegan butter or pumpkin, and my seasonings, which are seasoned salt, black pepper, onion powder, and sage, oregano, and what's most important is the water from the spaghetti. You do not dump that, please. That is important in this recipe. Let the pumpkin cook down for a while and then mash it up. The most important ingredient here in this recipe is the nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast and pasta is a match made in heaven, honestly. Topped with a little bit of parsley. Ooh, y'all, my kids, everybody in the household enjoyed this. I made a big pot and it didn't even last 2 servings. I'm telling you, this is the one. All right, next up, we're making an easy breakfast dish consisting of air-fried potatoes, stir-fried mushrooms, and a little avocado. Sometimes I just want a multitude of things on my plate, and this one hits the spot. So after peeling my potatoes and chopping them up real nice, I'm going to season them with some olive oil, some garlic powder, seasoned salt, and I'm going to add a little bit of my all-purpose flour, mix that up real well, get that into the air fryer. While that's baking, I'm adding my onion, my bell peppers, my mushroom. I'm going to stir fry that with a little bit of lemon pepper and some sea salt and my oregano. Once those are cooked down, I just slice my avocados and pair everything together. Listen, for the kids, the potatoes were the biggest hit on this plate. We all enjoyed it. It's a great way to start the morning, so I highly recommend you give this one a try. Sneaking in a little snack here. This is my favorite, and this is my go-to for my kids. Pineapple, cucumber, celery, a little bit of ginger, and sometimes I'll add watermelon if I have, and that's it. All right, we're gonna make a sandwich because one thing about me, I love my sandwiches. I don't eat them too often, but when I do, I make sure that they're banging. Okay, starting off with extra firm tofu. Make sure you dry that down as much as possible. I don't have a tofu press, but if you do, it makes a difference. Add your salt and also your Old Bay seasoning and some gluten-free breadcrumbs. So I add that on to one side, put that side face down on the pan, let that cook, and then I add the seasoning to the other side and then flip. While that's going, I get my Shar gluten-free bread into the toaster, and I'm gonna add my favorite Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. I just love this dressing, y'all. This is really good. I don't eat much of these processed things, but when I do, it's because they're really good. Well, feel free to make your own dressing if you choose. And then I pair that with some cucumber and tomato. You know what? I'd liken this to almost like a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I don't know if y'all know Chick-fil-A, but yeah, it reminded me of that. I'm not missing chicken, not at all, because this is so good. And the pickles, everything just paired together beautifully. All right, this is my kid's absolute favorite because my oldest is obsessed with lima beans. So we're making a lima bean stew, starting with crushed garlic or olive oil as usual. I'm adding my tomatoes, my onions, and my carrots, and then the lima beans. I actually used 3 cans of lima beans for this recipe, but I was making it for everybody. Cumin, pepper, salt, paprika, chili powder, and a couple bay leaves with oregano and enough water as if you're making soup. Then while that's cooking, I'm getting my all-purpose flour. I'm going to add some salt and some warm water, get that into a dough, and I'm cutting up my dumplings. Y'all, the dumplings for me is everything. So easy to make with this all-purpose flour. It's a really good flour. I recommend it. I just square them, add them to the stew. After like 15 to 20 minutes, everything is done. Y'all, this is absolutely amazing. I cannot rave enough about this dish. You've got to give it a try. All right. We are moving into the last breakfast option for this video, and it is baked oatmeal. And I just love this one, honestly. I'm ashamed to admit that I ate the whole thing in one sitting, but you know what? Actually, I'm not ashamed. It was that good. So getting your banana, you're gonna mash that up, add your oatmeal, your almond milk, your chia seeds, some peanut butter, your cinnamon, baking soda, some maple syrup. Mash that all up, get that into your baking pan. I added chocolate chips. I thought that would just be the icing on the cake for this dish. And then you bake. My goodness, y'all. Let me tell you, it may not look the most beautiful, but it is so delicious. I paired that with some vegan yogurt. Ooh, child. I thought this was all I was going to eat. And then I ended up eating the whole dish. Literally, within 15 minutes, the whole thing was gone. I engulfed it. It was good. Very good. All right, this is our final dinner, and it's a sheet pan, and I love these when I'm rushing or when I don't have time to focus in the kitchen because I'm watching my kids. So I just took some frozen vegetables, I just seasoned them with some garlic powder, some seasoned salt, and I just got that into the oven. While that was cooking, I added some corn on the stovetop to some salt water, and then I got my quinoa. Y'all hear me talking about quinoa and buckwheat all the time, so this is nothing new, but the key to making really good fluffy quinoa is making sure that you add enough water that just barely covers the quinoa. And then when that boils, you cover it slightly, and after like 15 to 20 minutes, it's all nice and fluffy, and that's your meal, which I just topped with barbecue sauce, and it was divine. I hope you guys enjoyed these recipes. Very quick, very easy, very healthy, very delicious, and your body's gonna thank you. I'll see you in the next video.